A new report has revealed that the United Arab Emirates was involved in a smear campaign that targeted over 1,000 people and hundreds of organizations, alleging that they had links to the Muslim Brotherhood. Based on 78,000 confidential documents obtained by the French online newspaper Mediapart, the Abu Dhabi secrets case reportedly involved people from 18 different European countries being spied on by Alp Services, a company hired by the Emirati government. The campaign was linked to around 1,000 individuals in Europe, all of whom were portrayed as having links to the Muslim Brotherhood, which is described as a terrorist organization by the United Arab Emirates. Some of those targeted have since come out to distance themselves from the allegations, while others have expressed fear over being targeted again or losing everything. The investigations, which have been published across 13 different publications, found that Emirati authorities paid at least 5.7 million euros for the campaign. The Emirati embassy in Paris did not respond to Mediapart's request for comment. Mario Bueno, founder of Alp Services, did not respond to questions sent to him by the French investigative site. Brero's lawyers, Christian Lucher and Johan Lambert, told Mediapart that the documents used for the investigation have been obtained unlawfully and are the result of one or more criminal offenses. The lawyer said that criminal complaints have been filed and that the case is now under investigation. They further claimed that Mediapart had ignored their formal notices, ordering it to destroy all data concerning our principals. The Swiss publication RTS, which has published the investigations, said it was most doing so in the public interest, despite the fact that the documents were most likely stolen by hackers. The United Arab Emirates has previously denied being involved in similar campaigns. The Belgian government had summoned the United Arab Emirates ambassador over the campaign. Now dubbed the Abu Dhabi Secrets, the investigations claimed that Alp Services, a Swiss private intelligence firm, was hired by the United Arab Emirates government to spy on citizens of 18 different European countries. Between the years 2017 and 2020, Alp Services gave the details of over 1,000 people and 400 companies and organizations to the Emirati intelligence services, who claimed that they were all members of or sympathizers with the Muslim Brotherhood. A political Islamic movement, the Muslim Brotherhood, briefly gained power in Egypt following the rise of the Arab Spring protests in 2011 and the election of Mohamed Morsi in 2013. The United Arab Emirates considers the group as a terrorist organization, and Qatar's support for it was a source of tension between the Gulf states and a reason for the blockade imposed on Qatar between 2017 and 2021. European investigative collaborators, or the IEC, published maps created by Alp Services that showed the locations of those targeted. Some reference the map including other terrorists, Qatari charities, and other radical preachers. The maps had hundreds of names and arrows in a purported attempt to link individuals to extremism. Alp Services and Brero were paid tens of thousands of euros per individual targeted. According to Les Sourds, the Swiss group then produced reports on the identified individuals. Information sent to Emirati intelligence services included phone numbers and personal details. Alp Services said the accusation was based on stolen data and claimed a line of questioning from journalists suggested the documents were partly falsified. Once the information was sent over to Emirati intelligence services, agents were able to target the individuals further through press campaigns, forums published about them, and the creation of fake profiles and the modification of Wikipedia pages. In some cases, work was done to ensure that the bank accounts of targeted individuals and organizations were forcibly closed. Among those targeted were politicians, representatives of Islamic organizations, activists, and prominent feminist figures. An investigation carried out by the IEIC media network and Spanish news site InfoLibre found that over 160 people from Spain were targeted in the smear campaign, all of whom denied having a relationship or affiliation with the Muslim Brotherhood. One of those targeted in Spain was Rieh Tatri, the founder and general secretary of the Union of Islamic Communities of Spain. Tatri, who died of COVID in April 2020, was also the imam of Madrid's Tetuan Mosque. According to InfoLibre, the criteria that the detectives used to single out Spanish sympathizers of the Muslim Brotherhood were very vague and their methods unprofessional. I have no relationship with the Muslim Brotherhood other than my specialty, which is the Arab world, said Pedro Rojo Perez, the co-director of the Observation of Islamophobia in the media. Victims of the files have been left shocked angry and paranoid. Some have even been forced to flee their home country, while others have lost their businesses and suffered huge financial losses as well as reputational damage. The singer, Memel Ibrahim, was included in one of Alp's reports because of a controversy that erupted during her participation in the television show The Voice in 2018, where she sang while wearing a turban. Ibrahim was forced to leave the show after old tweets of hers relating to her terrorist attacks in Nice and Saint Ite de Rotoy resurfaced. She later denounced the tweets, saying that she loved France and condemned violence, and that the tweets were written during a moment of anger to criticize amalgams between terrorism and religion. Ibrahim has since distanced herself from any Muslim Brotherhood affiliation. In March, the New Yorker reported that the United Arab Emirates financed a campaign by Alp Services to smear the UK-based charity Islamic Relief Worldwide and sought to link officials with the organization to the Muslim Brotherhood and violent extremism. Many thousands were targeted, and many hundreds of people had reputations destroyed due to this smear campaign by the United Arab Emirates and through the Swiss company Alp Services. The Muslim community should come out and condemn the United Arab Emirates for the smear campaign, but they won't because they're allied with the most important country in the Middle East, in the Arab world, which is under another repressive government, Saudi Arabia. And you wonder why the United Arab Emirates, Bahrain, and Saudi Arabia are on a campaign to dominate the Arab world in the Middle East through tyranny instead of Wahhabism.